Hey guys. All right, so it is just 8 o'clock or a few minutes after, and it is officially day 15 of my water fast. This is officially the longest I have ever fasted in my entire life. I'm super excited. I have been waiting for this day. Today was day 14. My last fast, I ended it at day 14. I did 14 days. So we are now officially 15 days. This is the longest that I've ever fasted. I'm super excited. This means we literally only have 6 days left. It is all downhill from here, guys. We're literally counting down. We're like so close to the end. I'm starting to save and freeze food that I am making because in a couple of days I'll be able to thaw it out and eat it. So today, another day pain-free. I do, as I think I said it on one of my other videos, my video this morning, I did have a small hole open up in one of the old wounds that I have. It was actually the 2 masses that burst while I was in the hospital, or that sent me to the hospital basically. One of those opened back up again. It's only about like dime size, which usually it's much bigger than that. So I am not too concerned about it because in my mind I'm thinking maybe it's just the last bit of whatever to continue on with my healing. It does burn, and it's like it obviously like hurts to touch it or any type of contact or anything like that. So I thought at this point I wouldn't need my bandages anymore, but it turns out I still do. But that is okay because I am pain free. So I'll take the wounds if it means no pain. So just super excited to be at day 15 because I've never made it to this point before. So pretty much from now, I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow or the day after that. Like, I don't know what could happen. Like, I could start having like corn come out of my ears. I don't know because I've never fasted this long before. So we'll see. I'm new to watching Why Do You Have Pain in Your Breast? So I have pain in my breast because back in June, I found a large mass in my breast. Like the first week of June, I found a very large mass in my breast. And we have a history of breast cancer in our family on both sides. My doctor immediately sent me in for mammogram and ultrasound. And I found something small back in January. I went in for a mammogram and they were like, everything's fine. It's probably just a cyst or something like that. It'll go away. 6 months later, I find this huge mass in my breast that was like bigger than a bar of soap, and it was extremely hard. So they sent me right back in, got a mammogram and ultrasound. That time it was not as simple as you'll be okay, and they just let me leave. Like they literally sat me down and told me I had breast cancer, asked me if I had someone to take care of my kids, and because I was young, they thought that I would be able to live, but they weren't too sure. So initially, it was a breast cancer diagnosis, and then after pathology a couple days later, they called and said they could not find a breast cancer cell, and they did not know what I had. So I went on for a couple more weeks thinking the pain that I was in was just due to the biopsy, but it was actually something else. And that was in June. I got my official diagnosis in August. So I was diagnosed with idiopathic granuloma mastitis, which is basically these large tumors. They're very hard, like masses that grow inside of my breast, and they start to grow one way, and as long as they can keep growing because there's room, then they'll continue to grow. But once they start to grow the other way, basically to the surface, and my breast can't stretch anymore, it begins to tear my skin, and the masses basically burst. And so I have like bandages and all of that. I've had different holes in my breast, like holes where I could stick my entire finger inside. Very weird. Never seen anything like it. It's a very rare breast disease, commonly misdiagnosed as breast cancer. Less than like 1,000 women in the United States are diagnosed with it. Thankfully, I have found a wonderful group on Facebook that has probably about 640 44 of us last checked are in that group. So there's actually other people that have experienced this, and most doctors have never seen it before. I've seen 4 different specialists, 4 different hospitals, and no doctor that I've seen has seen more than 4 patients. So I don't know if they're all the same 4 patients, but this is most of them with 30 to 40 years experience, but I'm the worst case that they've seen. So they have no idea where it comes from. They don't know how to treat it, and they don't know how to make it go away. But it looks like it's treated like and is basically handled like almost like inflammatory breast cancer. So it's extremely, extremely painful. I don't even really know how to describe the pain, but even when I was in the hospital on like every narcotic they had available to me, my pain was still only down at an 8. It is literally the most excruciating pain that I've ever dealt with in my life. I've given birth to 2 kids. I've had multiple ovarian cysts that have burst, had my wisdom teeth taken out, and nothing compares to this pain. It literally like brings you to your knees and takes your breath away. Like the pain is so bad. It like makes me like feel nauseous, like pass out. So that has been the pain that I've been in basically since June, and only since doing this fast have I found relief from pain for the last 5 days. So, any odor? No, there's no odor. So everything that's coming out is sterile. That's the thing. They've been looking for some type of infection or virus or something like that, but they cannot find it. So I'm obviously not a doctor, but I've obviously done a lot of research on this because it's something that I'm dealing with. But basically, a granuloma is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a cluster of cells that form together, not just in your breast. They can form anywhere, but granuloma is basically the term in mastitis because it's in my breast. So the cells basically form together because they perceive some type of threat. So it could even literally be a foreign object that's in your breast. It could come from getting punched in the breast, pretty much anything. And these cells basically form together, and they continue to form to protect your body from this. Even breastfeeding can do it, as it's considered like trauma to the breast. So the issue with people that are diagnosed with idiopathic granuloma mastitis is that they basically cannot figure out why your breast is doing this, but it's just doing it at this extremely high rate for no reason. There are some women that have found that there is a very rare bacteria. It's like Corynebacterium or something. It's like a very weird bacteria, but the thing is that it's not commonly found in most of the tests that they do. And if you have that form of it, you can treat it with an antibiotic, but it's extremely, extremely rare. I have been tested for it, and it's negative. So that literally means that everything that comes out is sterile. There is no infection in my body. I've seen rheumatologist, all my ANA markers are fine, like everything else is fine, completely healthy. So they literally cannot find a reason why this is happening. But it's not like a bad thing that it's happening, but it's a bad thing in the case of they can't figure out why my body is doing it, because there is no threat that they could actually find. So that is the long and short of it. How's your pain so far with fasting? My pain for the last 5 days has been non-existent. Let's see. I'm just going to go through some of the questions here. Only going to be in here for a few more minutes. And I think those are all the questions that I answered. So, yeah, that's basically it. So another part of this is a lot of the women that have found that they can actually go into remission, those women have had their breasts fully removed, or they've had one breast removed, and then they are fine. So that's basically what I've been begging for this entire time. Finally got some surgeons to agree to do it for me. And then I just got a little bit nervous and decided I wasn't ready to do it just yet until after I fasted. So right now I'm scheduled for surgery on January 10th, and I have another meeting with another surgeon, which I think that's the surgeon that I'm going to go with. So I'm not sure if surgery will be January 10th or if I'll schedule it for later in the month or the beginning of February. But praying that I don't need it, because that would just be awesome. But I'm definitely willing to explore that route just because I don't want to be in pain. So I only have it, I'm only diagnosed with it in one breast. So women can have it in both. Some women have had one breast removed and then it goes to the other, or they will have it in one breast and then it will go to the other, like while they still have their breast. I have not been diagnosed with it in so right now I'm diagnosed with it in my right breast. I've not been diagnosed with it in my left breast, but I guess over the past 7 weeks or so, I have had some of the same sensations that I have in my right. So I was a little bit concerned about it, but in the name of Jesus, I'm not going to get a diagnosis in my other breasts, because this is going to be done and taken care of. So there's nothing like precautionary that you can do so that you don't get it. The most common I guess thing between all of the women that have it, the most common is that they have breastfed within the last like 2 to 7 years, and Huxley is obviously 4, so 4 years later I end up with this, and I did breastfeed both of my kids. Penelope not that long, but Huxley for about 7 months. So that's the most common thing. It is more common in Asian and Hispanic women, both of which I am not, and it also responds well with an anti-inflammatory diet, which keto is. So a lot of women that are having like weight issues or overweight, have a lot of inflammation in their body, they can end up with this. But it's just odd that the only thing that I have in common with a lot of the other women that have this is that I breastfed within the last 7 years, and that was Huxley. So, but there are a handful of women that have not breastfed that have this. So there's really no like clear path. So that's basically it. I am now tired of talking because I need to go drink some water. So I just wanted to celebrate the fact that I made it to 15 days and share it with you guys. And we have the countdown to Christmas, and I will be eating on Christmas. So thanks guys for hanging out with me. You can always post any prayer requests that you have on any of my videos or posts, and I will pray with you as you guys continue to pray for me. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. And as always, you are amazing. God loves you. He loves loving you. It is literally his favorite thing to do because you're easy to love. So have a great night, guys. Thanks. Bye.